Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Music Den. I'm your host Armando Venditti, hoping you guys are having a good night. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you back to another segment of Ranking the Albums. Now, the band I'm going to be talking about tonight is a band I've not mentioned on the channel before, and that band is Frost. Now, for those of you who don't know who Frost are a neo-progressive rock band from the UK, forming in 2004, signing a major record deal with Inside Out Music through Sony Music, releasing their debut album Million Town in 2006. They have released 5 albums to date, the most recent being Life in the Wires, released in October of 2024. I do believe it was October the 4th. The current lineup of the band consists of Jem Godfrey on keyboards and lead vocals, John Mitchell on guitars and lead vocals, Nathan King on bass and backing vocals, and Craig Blundell on drums and percussion. Now, the band have had various members throughout the years. They've had two major lineup changes. Andy Edwards was the original drummer who played on Million Town, and John Jowett was the original bass player. They both left the band. Andy Edwards would make his return from 2008 to 2011, but the current lineup of Nathan King, Craig Blundell, John Mitchell, and Jem Godfrey seem to be the permanent lineup so far with the band. Now, as I said, they've released 5 albums to date, and I have put together my list. Um, I gotta tell you, I didn't know of the band until around 2022. And listening to the albums, they are quite intense in terms of subject matter. The music is heavy, but still accessible at the same time. Um, it's quite heavy stuff subject-wise. So I'm going to give you my ranking of the uh, catalog of Frost. Coming in at number 5, we have the newest release, Life in the Wires. And I have it right here. This is the 2 CD digipack format of the album. It comes in a jewel case format as well. There are 14 tracks on this album, 8 tracks on CD1, 6 tracks on CD2. Now, the concept for this album, it is a complete concept album. There are other albums in the catalog have basically themes throughout them, throughout the albums. But this is their first uh, full concept album, uh, uh, thought up by Jem Godfrey. And in talking about working on the album, uh, the idea for the concept was his sole idea, and he does all the vocals for the the main character of the album. Now, the reason why they came up with the concept album um, was that, he said in an interview, "We are a progressive rock band. There's no way around it." And you know, we're gonna do what we do best. Now, this is a follow-up release to the 2021 album, Day and Age. Okay. Now, the concept for um, Life in the Wires it's about a character in the realm of AI, and they are pretty much depressed and bored with the fact that they are stuck in the realm of AI, and they want to try and find something else out there. The main character wants to try and find some, I guess, some other beings that they can be around and discover new things. And this character finds a transistor radio one day, and through on the radio he hears the voice of Livewire, which is a DJ, and he is convinced or the character is convinced, sorry, that Livewire is the solution to his problems. Hearing Livewire on the radio is what is keeping this character going. And they keep trying to find ways to break out of the AI realm and pretty much into I guess to another dimension to find other beings like them that want to discover new realms. But there's one individual, the uh, overseer of the AI realm, that tries to thwart their attempts to break out of the AI realm. As a concept album, it is quite daring. It is quite lengthy. Uh, two CDs, 86 minutes in length, almost 90 minutes. Standout tracks are they're all standout. I mean, they're all good. Life in the Wires, sorry, part one and two are fantastic. It's rock, a lot of use of synths and piano-driven tracks, a lot of use of heavy rhythm guitar. There's even some rhythmic, really percussive um, arrangements on the tracks, almost funky in some spots. The reason why it's number five on the on my ranking is because I just got this album a couple of weeks ago, and I did do an album review on the album. Um, I need to listen to it more to really get into the story. I like the idea of the story, and I think the instrumentation is simply fantastic. And the fact that Jim Godfrey decided to be the main voice of the album in terms of the vocals um, lent to basically the audience listening to identify with one singing voice and one character throughout the story, which in his mind, uh, you know, lent greatly to the continuity of the story. And in terms of the keyboard work, uh, Jim Godfrey, in an interview that he did recently, cited the 80s albums of Rush as a major influence on him. That he said he loved the 80s um, albums of Rush. Some people say that, they relied too much on keyboards. I know Alex Lifeson said he did, that the band did, and he didn't like it too much. But you know what? Your inspiration is your inspiration, and there's no need for justification or defending yourself. It is what it is. But here it is again. Um, Before we carry on, Life in the Wires, you can get this on Amazon for something like 26.99, and it is simply fantastic. All right. Now, moving on. Coming in at number four, we have Falling Satellites, released in 2016. Um, th Again, this album is not a concept album per se, but it does have themes running through it. And as you can tell from the graphic with the black and white, almost like the very, the black snowflake kind of design on the cover, but based pretty much it's a maze, right? That someone is trying to get through or has to get through. The album itself, it, I'm not going to say it leans towards pop elements, but there are a lot of digitized sections on in terms of the vocals and stuff. It starts off with First Day, and what I hear on First Day is you have a wash of textured synths and layered vocals. Okay, and pretty much the storyline or the main theme of Falling Satellites is individuals or an individual who basically is trying to fight, uh, for lack of a better definition or explanation, progress, meaning, how things change, evolve over time, and how things can never really stay the same, which is unfortunate for some people. Fantastic music on this album. Other songs of note on Falling Satellites are Numbers, which has a really fast-paced tempo and a fantastic repetitive synth passage. Tower Block, which is track three, clocking in at 6 minutes and 14 seconds. Um, this is where the basically the theme of the album comes through, where this person's talking about, them, uh, you know, this company or this conglomerate is pretty much tearing down their building where these group of people live, and they're taking away their memories of their childhood and stuff. Um, in my notes, I have your treated vocals at the beginning. Uh, removed has a theme of removed human elements. It's very digitized and has very intricate passages, and it's almost fragmented throughout the arrangement near the end of the track. Um, it's fantastic. It is fantastic. It ends off with a multi-piece track called Sunlight. And I'll go through it quickly with you as I put this down. Um, in the final piece, Sunlight, you have such individual tracks. Heartstrings starts off, fantastic repetitive synth intro, fast-paced drum pattern on this track, very rhythmic, very percussive. At the 3 minute and 20-second mark, the tempo changes, dramatic synth passages, a lot of dramatic synth stabs on this track, right? On this section. Up next is Closer to the Sun, clocking in at 7 minutes and 21 seconds. Again, very percussive drum pattern, great melody. Uh, uh, I call it an ass shaker of a track. That's where the more rhythmic, almost funky elements do come in. And after that comes the track, The Raging Against the Dying of the Light, blues in 7/8. Now, this is in 7/8 time, right? Time signature. So it's very dense, textured wall of vocals and synths, uh, vocals and soundscapes that come in, sorry. Heavy rhythm guitar, very melodic piano passages that come through. What I like about Frost as a band, in terms of their arrangements, I've used the term light and shade. Light being the more, pastoral piano synth passages, and shade being the heavier guitar rhythm, guitar oriented sections. And they do a lot of that. And they do a lot of start and stops uh, with their arrangements. They also do a lot of dead stops at the end of their tracks. And a lot of their tracks segue into one another. And The Rage Against the Dying of the Light and Blues in 7/8 is no different. It's a long song. After that, you have the piece Nice Day for It at 6 minutes and 38 seconds. And this is a return to the repetitive synth intro for Heartstrings. And it's great. It's very, again, it gets your head bopping, your ass shaking, in my opinion. Um, Again, a lot of use of light and shade on this track. And what I noticed about their synth work with Jim Godfrey, um, to me, it's very reminiscent of Tony Banks in Genesis, right? Very much so. And albums like, um, and then there were three and Duke, not so much Abacab, but more of the progressive, you know, rock style. But again, fantastic. Um, and it's good. I mean, it's really good. Again, there's a lot going on here musically, but it's still a fantastic album. Um, and The album ends off with Last Day. Started with First Day, and the Last Day ends off the album at 3 minutes and 2 seconds. And in my notes, I have your simmering synth passages. It's almost like there's like a texture of synths that come in, but which almost add like a feeling of tension to the track. Um, and Nice, beautiful piano chords that come in, that provided by Jim Godfrey, and good, strong vocals. Um, and the thing is, between John Mitchell and Jim Godfrey, I have a hard time distinguishing between who is singing on these tracks. But you know what? They're both fantastic. They both have more of a husky kind of a vocal delivery, right? So that's number four, Falling Satellites. Okay. As I go up my notes here, um, in number position three, coming in at number three, we have Million Town, their debut release from 2006. Six tracks in total. Um, Fantastic album. Um, Starts off with Hyperventilate, which is an instrumental, 7 minutes and 31 seconds. Uh, Grand in arrangement, very epic, multi-sections. Andy Edwards on this album does a fantastic job on drums. Other songs of note are No Me, No You. A lot of these tracks, in terms of themes, I should have said this at the beginning. A lot of the themes are deals with questioning society, questioning government, questioning the world in general, like what is going on in the world at present day. Uh, and should we accept what is being given to us through the media or through government or through the church? Any type of institution that we feel is sort of hovering over us or sort of force feeding us information. And they tackle these issues brilliantly. I mean, it's amazing. Um, and in terms of No Me, No You, again, another lengthy track, 6 minutes and 6 seconds. Uh, again, I put since are reminiscent of Genesis. And again, nice use of light and shade because they'll do like a nice, again, beautiful keyboard passage, and then they'll come in with heavy drums and guitars and dramatic synths. Other songs of note on Million Town. Snowman, which in my opinion has nice piano passages, beautiful melody on this track. And as I put in my notes, palette cleanser compared to the first two tracks on the album, because there's a lot going on there musically. Uh, the Other Me comes next. 4 minutes and 51 seconds, very rhythmic and melodic, and has a more bit of an industrial feel to it in terms of the arrangement. Blacklight Machine is one of the more lengthier tracks, 10 minutes and 6 seconds, very rhythmic, nice guitar tone and solo on it. At 6 minutes and 48 seconds, the tempo changes, dramatic synths come in, funky rhythm on the guitar. And what Frost is good with is at doing is they do quite a bit of extended instrumental breaks on their tracks. Just fantastic. And the album ends off with a sweet the title track Million Town, clocking in at 26 minutes and 35 seconds. Pretty much their supper's ready from Genesis, right? Um, and there's a lot to go through here. Um, in my notes have you. There's a nice intro on the piano, uh, beautiful piano coming in at 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Dramatic synths come in with cymbal crashes, nice extended again instrumental section, and it just goes through various changes in terms of time signatures and uh, you know uh, tempo changes throughout the track. Just amazing, just amazing. Um, but yeah, is that a lot for a first release? Um, it's up to you to decide. I think it's great. Um, but was it going to be my number one? Originally, it was going to be my number one. I changed this around quite a bit, my list. But I thought, no, I'm happy with it being a number three. Coming in at number two, as I check my notes here, um, let me see here. We have number two, we have Experiments in Mass Appeal, released in 2008. Um, again, fantastic album, heavy, you know, subject matter. Um, Andy Edwards is gone at this point. Um, in just a fantastic album. Starts off with the title track. Again, clocking in at 7 minutes and 57 seconds. Slow building guitar passage, vocal and vocals, a melodic piano at 2 minutes and 34 seconds. The band come in heavy, nice guitar solo, tempo changes, nice tranquil piano and guitar passages, a lot of use of light and shade. Okay. Um, After that is Welcome to Nowhere. Again, a beautiful track. The first minute and 12 seconds, you have quiet melodic piano passages, uh, piano and drum passages. At a minute and 13 seconds, the band come in really heavy, heavy rhythm guitar, a lot of use of light and shade, melodic, as I'll get out, powerful vocal delivery on this. Again, between John Mitchell and Jim Godfrey, it's very difficult for me to decipher or distinguish, sorry, who is doing the lead vocals. I need to be seeing them on video. Um, and next up is a track called Pocket Sun. Uh, Very rhythmic drum pattern, rhythm guitar underpinning the track. A lot of tempo changes on this track. Again, fantastic. Saline is next. And in my notes I have you again album the track clocks in at 6 minutes and 8 seconds. Uh, sorry, in my notes I have you tranquil guitar and piano passages, very melodic, nice acoustic guitar, and very grand and epic in terms of the string arrangement that's on this track. Um, Dear Dead Day is next, clocking in at 6 minutes and 50 seconds. Again, very grand and epic with the synth string intro, tranquil piano chords that come in at 1 minute and 34 seconds. The band come in with cheated dramatic vocals and tempo changes. Just great. Okay. Next up is Falling Down, clocking in at 5 minutes and 49 seconds. Intricate drum pattern on the start, strong vocal delivery. It has a lot of use of light and shade and fantastic guitar solo. Um, the next track is the shortest track on the album called You I, and it's a beautiful piano passage that Jim Godfrey plays, and it's only like 1 minute and 6 seconds. But what he's saying in the track is he's basically resigning himself to the fact that the person he's with is using him, and he just wants to get away from that person, and he's done with them. Next up is a track called Toys. In my notes, I have your up-tempo drums, very melodic, great vocals. Uh, More straightforward melodic rock on this track. And the album ends off with a track called Wonderland um, at 15 minutes and 48 seconds. Uh, Very grand, very epic. And it's funny, the synth passage and piano passage that start the track to me are very reminiscent of the Halloween theme from the film Halloween in a 5/4 time signature. At 2 minutes and 19 seconds, the band come in gradually and um, almost they switch to like a 3/4 time signature, from what I can tell. Um, at 5 minutes and 46 seconds, um, the song stops and then it comes right back. It comes in again. It restarts at 6 minutes and 11 seconds. Uh, with things like static effects and things like that. Um, it's a fantastic, epic piece of work. Very grand, very cinematic in its arrangement, and that ends off the album. So, that's number two. Coming in at number one, we have Day and Age, released May 14th, 2021. 8 tracks in total. This was the first album I bought of Frost. Fantastic, fantastic album. This album, Day and Age, again, themes of questioning. Oh, you almost get the feeling of like Big Brother is watching you. Very ominous kind of feel to the album. Starts off with the title track, clocking in 11 minutes and 49 seconds. More guitar driven, extended instrumental sections on this track, fast-paced tempo on the drums. And for this album, I should say too, they had Pat Mastelotto come in and Nick DiVirgilio come in on drums because at this point, Craig Blundell had left the band in 2019 to focus on session playing for other artists. Um, so they brought in session drummers. Again, nice prominent bass on Day and Age on the title track. Uh, Terrestrial is next at 5 minutes and 12 seconds. Themes of questioning oneself and government, etc. Questioning the establishment overall. Great guitar, intricate drumming on this track. Waiting for the Lie. Um, you know, uh, nice repetitive piano passage, lush synths on this track, soaring vocals that are delivered. Next up is the track The Boy Who Stood Still at 7 minutes and 33 seconds. Um, in my notes, I have your intertwining synth passages, prominent drums. The narration on the track is done by British actor Jason Isaacs. Very rhythmic, funky drum pattern on this track. And the vocals don't come in until 3 minutes and 11 seconds. Um, again, themes of AI and what's taking over, like again, Big Brother watching, etc. It's quite ominous and it's quite dark in the subject matter. And it's questioning what is around you. And should you be questioning what's around you? Next up is one of the singles from the album, Island Life. Fast tempo, melodic, really guitar driven. Skywards is next, at again at 4 minutes and 15 seconds. In my notes, I have your nice piano and synth intro, symphonic epic synths that come in, very intricate percussion pattern, and very cinematic in its arrangement. Just fantastic. Um, Kill the Orchestra is next at 9 minutes and 27 seconds. Now, again, this is to me, when I hear the track Kill the Orchestra, I'm thinking of um, pretty much its originality is out the window. Your thought processes are gone. You're not allowed to think anything or do anything on your own. Even music is becoming all automatic and same and pretty much monitored. So basically, kill the orchestra for me means kill originality, kill all organic type of way of living, right? No spontaneity. Everything is just processed and done very rigid. Um, Fantastic track. The album ends off with the very poignant uh, repeat to fade. 6 minutes and 15 seconds. Strong drums on this track. There's somebody, female vocalist, doing operatic phrasings that underpin the ominous feel of the arrangement of the track. Nice piano on the breakdown section. Very dramatic synths that bring the band back in. Song fades out to white noise. And as it fades out, um, the track repeat to fade. As it fades out, sorry guys, you hear somebody saying over radio, "Can you hear me?" And when you listen to the new album, Live from the Wires, that same white noise, that static comes through at the beginning of the first track, and you hear the voice say, "Can you hear me?" So it's almost like it's a continuation of from Day and Age. You know, it's like it's been 3 years on, and can you hear me? Can we continue from where we left off? So that's the element that connects day and age and life on the wires together. Um, so there you have it, guys. My ranking the albums of Frost, and I hope if you guys haven't heard of Frost, and I'm sure you have, but if you haven't, you can check all these albums out on YouTube. The collection that I mentioned, 8 CD collection, is a collection called 13 Winters. And what it is at the time, the three studio albums of Frost being um, Experiments in Mass Appeal, Million Town, and Falling Satellites, along with live recordings. There's an EP on there called Others, and which contains B-sides, rare takes, etc. That is all included on this set. You can still get this set through Discogs. You would pay quite a penny for it, but you do get all of the first studio albums, and again the live recordings and the Others EP. And once you pick up Day and Age and pick up Life on the Wires, you have all of the 5 studio albums of Frost. Now, again, if you know of Frost, please let me know what you think of them um, down there in the comments below. And yeah, I mean, again, I think they're fantastic. For some people, the subject matter may be a bit heavy. Um, they're not a band you want to listen to when you want to be in an up mood. The musicianship with this band is simply fantastic. Um, I don't know why they're not more well known in North America. I only again found out about them in 2022. And you know me, when I find an artist that I'm interested in, I jump into that artist like you would not believe. I listen to these albums back to back, and this is my ranking, obviously, of the albums. I do need a bit of a break because they are quite heavy in terms of, again, subject matter, but arrangement wise and instrumentation uh, is sublime of this band. So please check them out on YouTube and let me know what you think of Frost. That's it for now. I'll be back with more shows. Please click like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to keep yourselves on top of any new content I've got coming up. All right. And please look after yourselves and one another. And I'll see you soon with another video or videos, plural. All right. Take care of yourselves. Have a good night. Bye for now.